Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 10 Minutes Daily Cafe Chat. It is Friday, March 13th, 2026.
Happy Friday! This week felt 3 months long, but we made it.
Lisa, you look exhausted. What happened?
My faucet started dripping at 2 a.m., and genius me tried to fix it with a YouTube tutorial. 3 towels later, it drips even louder. There is a reason plumbers exist.
Let me cheer you up with today's stories. First, koalas in Australia made an incredible comeback from near extinction, and scientists found something unexpected in their DNA.
Koalas! And I have a cooking hack to share today, too. It completely changed my roast potato game.
She cannot stop talking about potatoes. And to close the week, tiny paintings from the Tudor era may hold a secret connected to Shakespeare.
Shakespeare and secret paintings, best for last.
New here, we turn real-world news into a cozy cafe chat every day. Subscribe and practice with us. Today's keyword is resilience.
Resilience. My faucet proved I have 0 of that.
Calling a plumber is resilience. It means bouncing back from something tough. Listen for it in our first story.
All ears.
Our first story is uplifting. In the 1920s, koalas in Victoria, Australia, were nearly wiped out by fur hunting.
I saw a documentary about this. The fur trade was absolutely brutal. Millions of pelts were exported before the ban.
Conservationists relocated the survivors, just 500 to 1,000 koalas, to offshore islands.
500 for an entire state? One disease outbreak could have ended everything.
Exactly. But those islands became safe havens. By 2020, the population had grown to about 500,000.
500 to 500,000 in a century. A 500-fold increase. Most species never recover that fast.
Now here is the real surprise. A new study in Science analyzed DNA from 418 koalas across 27 populations.
What were they expecting to find?
Bad news. When a population crashes, it creates a genetic bottleneck. Too few survivors means dangerous inbreeding.
Like a genetic echo chamber. Everyone carries the same weaknesses.
Right. That damage normally takes thousands of years to repair.
So they expected a genetic disaster.
But the opposite happened. The koalas restored their diversity. Researcher Colin Ahrens said they recovered in ways never reported before.
The gene pool healed itself? That challenges decades of theory.
The key was increased recombination events. Genes shuffled more aggressively as the population grew fast.
So speed was the medicine. Faster growth meant more DNA mixing, like nature has a built-in emergency repair kit.
And rare genetic variants appeared much sooner than predicted.
Could this work for other endangered species? Pandas? Rhinos? Maybe we need to rethink breeding programs.
That is exactly what scientists are hoping. This could reshape conservation worldwide.
Koalas went from nearly extinct to genetically heroic. Officially my new favorite animal.
Our second story is all yours, Lisa.
Can we talk about food now? I have been waiting all morning.
Go ahead. What is this potato discovery?
Tasty published a hack by Meg Sullivan for the crispiest roast potatoes ever. The secret? Baking soda.
Baking soda in potatoes? Tell me the science.
A teaspoon in the boiling water raises the pH, making it alkaline. That breaks down the surface starches.
Same principle as pretzel making and ramen noodles. Alkaline water changes starch chemistry.
Ramen too? I had no idea those 3 share the same science.
One of those hidden threads in cooking. What comes next? You toss the potatoes hard in a strainer. The broken starch creates a rough surface, then coat them in garlic oil. So the rough surface is the key. Every jagged edge crisps up individually.
Exactly. Then roast at 425 degrees for a full hour. Flip at 30 minutes.
A full hour? That is longer than usual.
It makes all the difference. The result is what the article calls shatteringly crisp outside, plush and velvety inside.
Did you try it yourself?
Twice last weekend. Best potato I have ever cooked. Restaurant quality with baking soda that costs almost nothing.
The recipe name is great too. What is it called?
Elephant Garlic Crispy Pub Potatoes by Tasty creator Joelle Park. No deep fryer needed, just your oven.
I love that the best kitchen hacks use the simplest ingredients.
And a comment on the article said baking soda also works for browning meat. Same principle.
My weekend plan is set. Grocery store, baking soda, potatoes.
Do it. Send me a photo.
Our final story reads like a novel. Researchers in England found tiny paintings from the 1500s hidden in the back of drawers in old country houses, and one of them may be connected to Shakespeare.
Hidden paintings connected to Shakespeare? Tell me everything.
First, the background. In Tudor England, there was a painter so talented that Queen Elizabeth I made her personal artist. He specialized in portrait miniatures, tiny watercolor paintings on thin animal skin. How tiny are we talking? About the size of a jam jar lid, somewhere as small as a fingernail.
A fingernail? That is unreal precision for the 1500s. And these were basically the original portable photograph, right?
Exactly. The only way to carry someone's image before cameras. Lovers exchanged them and kings used them in diplomacy.
Romantic and strategic at the same time, like a dating profile with political consequences.
People took them very seriously. One French king reportedly kissed a miniature of Queen Elizabeth 3 times when he first saw it.
He kissed the painting? Dramatic, but I get it. When that image is all you have, it carries real weight.
Now, a researcher at a British university recently identified several unknown miniatures. People found them tucked away in old houses for over 400 years.
400-year-old masterpieces sitting next to old keys and expired coupons? That is wild.
The most stunning find is a miniature of a beautiful young man with long auburn hair. Researchers believe he was Shakespeare's patron, the person Shakespeare dedicated some of his most passionate poems to.
So this could literally be the face Shakespeare wrote for. That is already incredible.
But here's the jaw-dropping part. The painting was done on a playing card. On the back, there was a red heart from the card, but someone had painted over that heart with a black spear. They destroyed the heart with a spear. Why a spear? Because Shakespeare's family symbol was a spear, a pun on his name, Shakespeare. The spear on the miniature matches his family crest almost exactly. Wait, so Shakespeare may have received this as a love token, and when things ended, he returned it with the heart erased by his own symbol. That is the most literary breakup in history. The patron got married in 1598. Researchers think Shakespeare returned the painting around that time. If true, he did not just write about broken hearts, he literally painted over one. A researcher compared it to modern lovers returning clothing after a breakup. Same emotion, 400 years apart. Centuries apart, same heartbreak. The distance just vanishes. One more discovery. Another miniature from the same era was secretly used as a prop in a spy plot against the King of Spain. Art as espionage. Love, heartbreak, and international espionage, all on paintings the size of a jam lid. The 1500s were absolute chaos disguised as elegance. That painted over heart is still on my mind.
Same. All 3 stories had a theme of bouncing back or rediscovery. Koala genes, potato science, 400-year-old secrets?
Recap. Koalas made a 500-fold comeback, and their genetic diversity recovered in ways nobody expected. Nature's emergency repair kit. Lisa showed us the baking soda hack for crispy potatoes. Try it this weekend. Baking soda, garlic oil, patience. And Tudor miniatures may connect to Shakespeare's love life with a heart destroyed by a spear. The most dramatic Valentine rejection in literary history. Today's keyword was resilience. Koalas showed genetic resilience. Shakespeare showed emotional resilience by channeling heartbreak into art. And I will show faucet resilience by calling a professional tomorrow. Question for listeners. If you could own one Tudor miniature, whose portrait would you want? Shakespeare's face. Holding a painting he may have held himself. That is a 400-year connection. Tell us in the comments. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Every day, rain or shine, we are here. Have an amazing Friday. Try the potatoes, hug a koala in spirit, and check the back of your drawers for treasure. Bye! See you tomorrow!